Hi, I'm Diana Montford, born male, became female. Yes, I'm transgender. My guest is someone you see on our show fairly often, the wonderful Emmy-winning actress, Miss Louise Shaffer, who went to the Yale School of Drama, Yale School of Music. She is, what is it you are? A coloratura, what?
Well, sort of a coloratura, but really a soprano leggero.
Okay. And whatever that might mean.
Yes.
And anyway, so I do not sing mercifully for all of you. But anyway, we're going to talk to Louise about her wonderful activities. She's written yet another book. You have 11 books, I believe, to your credit.
Really? Is it that many?
I think a lot, yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And we're going to talk about her new book. And those of you who like our show because we dwell on metaphysics, the new book has a lot to do with metaphysics. Very interesting story. And we're also going to talk to her about her storied, magnificent career. I mean, how wonderful. And, we're just going to talk. A couple of white chicks sitting around talking. What can I say? So tell me, what have you been up to?
Well, I finished the book that I started. Well, I had the idea for the book in 1994.
Right.
And for years, I would sort of mention the book, and my late husband, would say, "That is the best idea you've ever had. You really should be working on that book."
Boy, that's saying something.
Yes. And then I would say, no. I cannot do this book. It's about police, and you can't find anybody who could write a cop who has less ability to write a cop than I do. I'm not a linear thinker. I tried actually to interview a cop once, and I said to him, "So, how did you get into this profession?" And the man said, "Well, my dad was in it, my granddad was in it, so, I just did it. That's what people in my family." I said, "Yes, and how did you feel?" And the eyes just kind of glazed over.
The unexamined life, yes.
So I felt like I'm totally not equipped to write this thing. And for me, because I come at writing like an actor, if I can't identify with my characters, then I feel like I don't have the moral authority to write them. It's an integrity thing. I just feel like plus I can't figure out how to do it.
But you did write it, so how did you do it?
After my husband died, I thought maybe I'd never write anything again. I mean, I wasn't a kid, and okay, fine, hang up your tap shoes. And then I found that hanging up your tap shoes is a very boring way to live your life, and I didn't want to do it. And I thought, okay, I'll just give it a shot. So I went to my local precinct, and there was a very nice guy who was, I think, trained. I could smell the sensitivity training. So he kind of talked me through, what happens at a crime scene and a few things. And what I discovered is if I kept it away from the touchy-feely and I made my questions very procedurally oriented, I wasn't as scared, and they didn't get the glazed eyes look thing.
In other words, if you were more professional and not so friendly.
Yeah, and again, not into the kind of thing I'm into, which is, emotionally, how do you connect? But there's a lot of people in the world that don't want to talk that way. I've learned at a certain point.
It's not us, though.
No, I mean, I'm all about it. Come on, tell me everything. Yeah. But there are a lot of people that are very guarded, so, okay. And then a dear friend knew an actual detective, and obviously, if you're doing a murder mystery, which is a piece of the book. It's not
Right,
all of the book,
right,
it's a piece of the book. But if you're doing a murder mystery, you need to talk to detectives. And he had a friend who was a detective. So
Right.
this guy was used to showbiz people.
Oh, good.
And so, we had some lovely chats on the phone. Excuse me. And then after that, I felt I never was totally sure I was equipped to do it, but I felt I could start. And then once I started, the romance took over and the paranormal took over.
You've written so many books. How can you not be sure? Do you feel this every time you write a book that you can't do it?
Do you think creative people are ever really sure of themselves?
The ones who are tend to be idiots. So
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think people that take their work seriously are ever really sure of themselves? I don't think they are.
I don't know.
I've never. Okay, let me put it this way. I find I'm more attracted to people who aren't sure of themselves.
I think audiences are too.
I think self-doubt is a very nice discipline to keep on the fringes of your life.
And it keeps you growing.
Yeah. It makes you work harder. Mm-hmm. And come on, let's face it, you could always do better. I mean, there's no such thing. I mean,
do you want to share what your book is about?
Well,
or do you want to keep it under wraps until it's published?
There's a certain kind of spoiler alert involved with it. Let me say this. There's a romance that happens. Mm-hmm. One person in the romance has a pulse and one person does not.
One person is dead, one person is alive.
And there are 2 murders that get solved. One was committed in 1957, and one was committed in 2019, and they are connected. And there's an NYPD police shield which connects the 2 characters.
Mm-hmm. And that is all because you don't want to give it away.
And what started me with the whole idea was what I discovered, and it has since, I've seen it on several talk shows that are based in New York City. In New York, I think, it's still true, they do not retire a cop's badge after they retire.
They give it to the next one?
They hand them down to rookies until the thing is, now the only time they retire it is if the cop was killed in the line of duty. Mm-hmm. And then and I actually saw the locker of a police person who had died, and they had they actually had some flowers in front of the locker. It was kind of lovely.
And they were no longer using the locker as a locker?
No. Not at that point, whether or not they did. I mean, it was a fairly recent loss to the department. But so the only time a police shield, and I learned to say shield, not badge, because it's shielding. The only time a shield is retired is either when the officer fell in the line of duty, or if it's just gotten so ratty and torn apart that you can't keep.
Well, aren't they made of metal, though?
They are, but they're gold. If it's a
detective seal, and it rubs off,
and the plating comes off, and eventually they get. But
do they make new ones with the same number or not?
I don't know about that. That's a very good question. But there are cops carrying their father's shield or their grandfather's shield to this day, and because certainly it has always been something that was a family profession. I think less so now. I think we're finally getting a much more inclusive police force in New York City, but at that time...
Well, the term paddy wagon comes from the fact that policemen were Irish.
Exactly.
And, it was a closed shop. If you weren't Irish, you couldn't do it.
A few of my people got in.
Oh, really?
Italians, yeah.
Yes,
a few Italians.
but that's
got it.
why the mafia started, because the Irish cops were so vicious to people in Italian neighborhoods.
Really?
Yes. That the mafia, I lived in Little Italy for 4 years.
Okay.
That the mafia had to, the Italians had to, now wait a minute, boys. You know, they had to have some defense, you know?
Well, so anyway, I did the,
Louise is half Italian and half
Yes.
Wasp.
very, on both sides, yes. Napolitan on my mother's side.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Neapolitans.
Yeah, well, actually, Castellamare di Stabia, which is outside of Naples, but yeah, real Southern Italian. And then my father's family, came over.
German, I would imagine.
German, Pennsylvania Dutch German.
Oh, cool.
And came over, the Bradleys came over, I don't know, sometime after.
The Bradleys would be who? Your mother, your grandmother's?
My father's mother.
Yeah.
That crowd.
Did you know her?
No, she died when I was 6 months old.
Oh, dear.
Yeah. I'm named for her.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yes, I'm named for her. So anyway, that was it. And I guess I always wanted to do it. And
Well, you've written so many books. Even though this is a departure for you,
very
it can't be
big
all
departure.
that. Is it that different from the other
yeah,
things you've
yeah.
written? And you were a writer on soaps and everything.
Yes. Yeah, that's how I transitioned to writing. When, as I told you, I started getting pressure to get knee surgery in my 40s. Knee surgery is what happens in my profession, in the acting profession, when an actress drops out for 6 weeks and her publicist says she's getting her knee injury taken care of, and she comes back like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I decided that I was going to leave my eyebrows where they were.
Good for you.
And but the handwriting was on the wall. If you're not going to be a good girl and do as you're told. So I had always loved writing, and I had started out wanting to write. But at a certain point, when I was around 12, I don't know quite why, but I wanted to still do the same storytelling. I'd been writing all along. As a kid, I'd written. But I started wanting attention. And so I shifted over to acting as what I wanted. But I'd always been acting. I'd always been writing, even while I was acting. I published a piece in Playbill.
Oh, sure, of course.
I published a piece in Red Book magazine.
Oh, I
don't know
loved Red Book.
I don't know if
I
it's
think
even
it still
alive.
exists.
Does it still exist?
I think so.
Okay. Well, the piece I published in Playbill was about what you do when you're an actor and a friend of yours is in an absolute bomb, and you've gone to the show and you can't get out of going backstage, and you gotta find something.
You were
to
wonderful,
say.
and leave it at that. As opposed to, boy, was this a stinker? Oh, Lord God.
That was something
Don't
else.
quit that day job.
Sorry you got 2 kids and a mortgage.
That's
'cause,
life, yeah.
honey, you really...
Taking
but-
laundry, what can I tell you?
Yeah, it's sort of like, that was something else. That's a good one. Wow.
Yeah, that's always good.
Let me see. Boy, that was just amazing.
That's always
That
good.
was just incredible.
You don't add amazingly bad. You just leave it at amazing.
Yes, exactly. So I wrote a whole piece about that, and that got published in Playbill. And then I wrote a piece for Red Book about being a soap actress. If you were a Yale graduate, because if you were a Yale graduate, you were supposed to do repertory theater,
yes.
and you were supposed to give the world your head a gobbler. And what you were not supposed to do was daytime television for the ladies. That was really not.
And damn the steady paycheck.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Well, I mean.
How can you be so crass?
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. You just cheap commercials sell out.
Yes,
Ooh,
really.
yes. So I wrote those. So I was always writing anyway, and when I kind of looked in the mirror and I said, okay, those lines are going to start showing, and I'm not going to. I always felt like, for me, it would have been a betrayal to get it all pulled together.
Well, you're naturally beautiful,
Well,
so.
thank you, but
Okay, my mother had a nose job when she was 19. She had this nose before. And she.
it's a perfect nose. What is?
Yes, if you like long noses. But anyway, but if she had lived, she died at 44, she would have got a facelift.
Really?
Yeah.
I, for some reason, and it may just have been as simple as they were telling me to do it.
No, but
You know,
she lived in a very patriarchal time. You came much later. And my father liked having a young, pretty wife.
oh well, and thank God my husband didn't. But I certainly was in a profession where, I mean, everybody was,
You really haven't changed that much.
Well, thank you. But,
No, but it's
true. But we all change, and something in me just said, no. You're telling me to, and it might have just been as simple as they were telling me to do it, and therefore, if you tell me I have to do it, watch me not do that.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Miss Rebel. So, anyway, and I had always loved writing. So it wasn't like, oh my God, what am I going to do?
And also, you'd already scaled the heights.
Well,
you already had an Emmy.
Well, yeah.
You were already known all over the country. So, I mean, what was there left to do, really?
Well, a lot more acting.
You were on In the Evening and All That Glitters in the 70s.
Yes, I was. That was fun. It was too bad that show was ahead of its time.
The world wasn't ready.
Yeah, it really wasn't for that show. But anyway, so I went to Claire Lamine, who was the head writer of the soap opera.
Ryan's Soap?
Ryan's.
Which you were on as an actress.
I had been on it as an actress, and then I'd been fired because I was, I know I've told you this, that somebody said to me, they were bringing on Gloria DeHaven, who was a friend of the new producer, and somebody said to me, we just don't have space for two over-the-hill divas.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so, okay, fine.
She comes from a famous acting family.
Does she?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
She did. I believe she died
But
recently.
I didn't know. I just knew that they were telling me that I was...
Did they actually say it that way? Today you could
Somebody
sue the
said-
crap out of these
yeah.
people.
I'm not sure it was anybody connected with the show. I can't remember who said it now. It might have been somebody in my agent's office, actually.
Oh, well, really?
It's never happened.
They get, supposedly they're there to help you, but they can get really nasty.
Well, I think they care a lot about, the good ones care a lot about you, but trying to keep an actress in her 40s, back in my day.
Sure,
Today, very different. Thank you, Jesus. But
It's not that different.
I really? Oh, come on. I want to believe it's different. It's
All right,
not.
there's Ellen Burstyn. Now name another mature lady who's still working,
Meryl Streep. But I mean, of
She's
course,
not
that's
that
like saying
mature,
God,
yeah.
you know.
And I do believe, if I can trust my eyes,
Really?
and cheek implants, but she's lovely.
Yes.
I met her in the early 80s.
Oh, really?
Very pretty, very delicate. My acting teacher was Michael Moriarty, and he knew her.
Oh, okay.
And she's much, much, much prettier in person
Oh, really?
than she is on the screen, yeah.
Wow.
And very delicate, very, yeah.
I was auditioning for the thing that Sally Fields got, the Three Faces of Eve, the redo thing.
Sybil.
And I was auditioning for that, and they were the casting director was super excited and talking on the phone because Meryl Streep, who had just done a show for Joe Papp,
Right.
was coming into the audition.
That's great.
To audition. She was really excited. And there were all of us sitting there with all our makeup and our hair done
I
and
remember.
and Meryl Streep comes in and she biked to the audition.
Mm-hmm.
She's wearing just kind of jeans, and she's like this breath of fresh air. She was
she's very
amazing.
lovely.
She was just an energy force walked into that room. I remember that. But
She has a lovely aura.
it's just kind of a glowy thing that a lot of Brit actresses have, I think.
Yeah. But she's from New Jersey.
Yes,
so,
I
yeah.
know.
But, yeah.
But anyway, so I went to the head writer of the show, and I said, I was on another show at that point, and I called her and I said, look, I'm not getting parts, and I want to try my hand at some writing. Could you send me some outlines? And in the way daytime was structured, you got an outline, and then if you were a scriptwriter, you wrote the dialogue for the outline.
Right, yes.
And I wrote a couple, and I said, if you would mentor me, I know how busy you are, but just take a look at what I do and give me some hints and stuff. So I did a couple of them, scripts, off of some outlines she sent, and she called me and she said, I'd like to hire you.
Oh, thank God.
So I started writing, and I really have to admit I didn't like it. I didn't like writing for daytime.
Why not? Pressure?
I'm
Not complicated enough? It's very sort of on the surface with outlandish
Part of
plots.
it is I wanted to tell my own stories. And I was telling the stories that the show had.
And aside from amnesia and a plane crash in the Andes, they're always...
Well, there were. It wasn't that
and the evil
necessarily.
twin, let's not forget that.
It was that they were. The job I had was to write dialogue for scenes that other people had. And what I learned is I am not a good team player.
Well, that's why you're a writer.
I'm not a team player.
Yeah.
Really
a very
good,
solitary
really good TV writers are team players. They work in a team.
Well, yes, but that's, like if
And-
they're doing a sitcom or a nighttime
Yeah,
show.
they go into the room and they pitch ideas and they
women are
feed off
treated
each
very
other.
badly.
Oh God. Oh.
And
don't even
because
go
it's the
there.
old boy network,
But of course, daytime was not.
No.
Daytime was a woman's medium.
Leela Swift, one of your directors,
Right.
was a groundbreaking director.
Right.
She segued from Ryan Soap in 75 to Dark Shadows in 66. No, in 65 to...
She did Dark Shadows first, and then she went to Ryan's.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But for me, writing is something I want to do on my own. I don't want to be a part
That's
of
why
a team.
books versus script writing is your thing.
Right.
yeah.
So I started writing books, which, you write the entire book, then you hand it to an editor who gives you criticism,
Mm-hmm.
but you're entitled to argue points. And in the end, it is your story
Mm-hmm.
and your concept. So for me, that was the way to go. I learned that.
When do you think your book will be published?
We're thinking late February, early March. So
Of the fall of 2026.
2026, yep. And right now I'm putting together a new website so that we can get the information out there, and starting a Substack.
What is a Substack?
A Substack? It's like a platform for people who want to write, and they write like articles, or it's sort of like a newsletter.
Okay.
And I have 4 posts that I've already written about my life on the soaps and being a writer.
that you could write huge bestseller.
I wrote one called Anchovies and How I Won the Emmy, which is, I hope it's fun. So anyway, I'm going to start posting those, and then I'll be posting chapters from the book on my Substack. So there's that, and the website, which has been an amazing experience because it's been kind of like a trip down memory lane, because I've been gathering with videos and pictures and
your father was a photographer, and when you were a very small child, a toddler, he took many photographs of you. So.
yeah. My dad had a
We only have like 5 minutes. left.
Where did the time
I
go?
know.
I talk too much.
No, you don't.
Anyway, yeah,
It's
Dad,
a talk show. This
I know
works.
that's the whole point. Okay, great. My dad had a photo finishing business back in the days when people were just starting to take pictures. Before that, you went into a studio and you posed.
yeah.
But so he would develop the films. So he had a brochure that he sent out. He had mail
Excuse me.
order. He had, all around the country, people would send in their negatives and he'd send back pictures. So he needed advertisements, and there was this little 4-year-old ham that was right under his feet. So I was his model, and that was my first gig.
And that's great. And a lot of people, while they might balk at being photographed themselves, always want photos of their children.
I know. I mean, it was very smart. My dad was a bright guy.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of pictures of little Louise.
Apple doesn't fall
posing.
far from the tree, so
Oh, yeah.
you're pretty smart yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Well, all those books, come on.
oh,
and
they were
scripts
fun.
and all
Yeah,
that.
yeah. But it's been a lot of fun, the writing.
So how can people access your website? Do you know?
The website will be going up in the next couple of weeks. And it'll be it'll be louiseshaffer.com. You just,
Okay.
that's how you'll get my website.
Okay. And that is how people can contact you, should they wish to?
Yeah, there'll be a contact for email, because we're going to try to start a newsletter. So you can email me and I'll send out kind of bulletins on what I'm doing and where we're going with the book and how, when we have an exact pub date. And there will be, hopefully, I did a lot of research, and most of the book takes place in New York, so there'll be a lot of pictures of New York and neighborhoods in New York where the book takes place. And possibly, if we can figure out how to do it, even me reading some of the book.
That would be wonderful. I have a slight cold, so if I keep coughing, that's why. Anyway, I'm Diana Montford. My guest has been the great Louise Shaffer, actress, author, scriptwriter, also singer, everything. Truly brilliant person. And I love you a lot, and I'll see you next time. Bye.